Hello, everybody. It is Friday, the 18th of August. I'm going to call this Jesus was an alchemist because that is what in essence he was. I've been listening to John St. Julian again, and two things got mixed up in this world at the moment, badly mixed up. And that is the tradition of the East and the tradition of the West. They have become intertwined. And we really must, first of all, take them apart again and to see what the intention actually is there. Because he, keeps throwing Jesus and Buddha into the same pot, and they were two completely different intentions. They were two completely different desires that would lead you to two different outcomes, to two different knowings. Yeah? And I want to see in the end how they can actually give to each other, because they can. But not by mixing them up completely. But as I said, we can only give to each other in points where it serves. And there's something in the East that would serve the West. But you can't mix them up completely. Now, the way of the East, and I heard it in Vedanta, the far out outcome, if you go the path all the way to its conclusion. I've heard it in Vedanta, you come to a point where you know there's nothing. Nothing that observes, nothing that is being observed, nothing that knows, and nothing that is being known. Yeah? So there's nothing that knows, because you have done away with self, so there's nothing left that would know, and then there's nothing that can be known. So to me, that is the point of complete and utter oblivion. There's nothing there anymore. And why on earth we want to go there is totally beyond me. Now, John again says, you know the unconditional love of the Creator. Okay, let's say there's one knowing left. Do you feel the unconditional love of the Creator at that point, far out? If that feeling is a constant, it never changes. It is unchanging, you know it, unchangingly. Then after a while you would no longer know it. It would become a background thing that is no longer in awareness, because there is no change. There's nothing else to liken it onto. There's, So again, even that, you would not know anymore after a while. Again, and there's complete oblivion. It is the point where consciousness dies, where the soul dies. And again, glory, hallelujah, why on earth would we all scramble to get to that point? Anyway, okay, but, so that is the way of the East. And that is the way of consciousness detaching from matter and flying off on its own until it goes to a place where it dies. And yes, I really think that the guy understands something that, again, that Pope Francis said. He said, those that do not go to heaven, and actually I would say those that do not go to a heaven. There's more than one. This can take you to different places. But those that do not go to a heaven, they do not go to hell, they simply disappear. And I think there's an understanding there that he got. if the soul goes out, not attached to anything anymore, it will disappear, it will die, consciousness will disappear. It's not hell, it's just ceasing to exist. Anyway, so that's the way of the East. The way of Jesus. That is not what he was looking for. The hell was that what he was looking for? Something that John and all the other Christians, and the really spiritual Christians, conveniently overlook all the time, is that he was always in a body. He was always matter. Throughout the entire book, he ascended or got chucked out of this reality as matter. He never left the body. Well, apart from the 3 days in the tomb. He never left the body. But what he did was, and here is the thing, and that is mind over matter, mind ruling over matter. He is not going to heaven, he's bringing heaven to earth. And that is the way of the West. That is a completely different intention. They're not trying to get out of matter. He never did. But they're trying to rule over matter. And in that, he was an alchemist. I mean, alchemy, the Hermetics, all those different branches, they are all growing out of the same desire, which is the desire of the Lord God in this book to start with, to rule over nature, matter, to have dominion over this world, to have dominion over reality. And I'll show you something here. In the beginning, Bible, in the beginning, the very first line shows you what happens, what the desire is, and where God is in all of this. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form, unformed matter, and void. And darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the water. He was above, but only just. He was only just above matter. And his intention, his desire, was very much attached to matter. Very much so. Because then he says, let there be. Let there be tree. He's creating out of matter. He's affecting. He is mind, he is spirit, and he's affecting matter. And matter forms itself according to his desire. Yeah? That's alchemy. What's happening here is alchemy. Changing matter, creating matter. Making one into another. Changing water into wine. That is what this entire book is about. It's not about leaving the body and going somewhere else. It is ruling over. Well, I think that is a mistake. So, first of all, if you are looking at these two traditions, see that they are two completely different desires that lead to completely different pathways. So make a choice. Where is it you actually want to go? And don't liken Jesus onto the Buddha, because no, they are two completely different desires. Make a choice. I mean, the choice is yours. Go into oblivion. Have fun. Or not. But if you want to stay attached to matter, but no longer be ruled over matter, by matter, sorry, but to have dominion over it, then you go west. That was the way of Jesus. Now, as I said, can the two paths give to one another? And yes, at one point they actually can, because it is the tradition of the East that would actually teach you how to get above matter in the first place. They have that knowledge, that understanding, how to get above matter in the first place. But then if you're in the Western tradition, make sure you stay only just above, because that was the way of Jesus. And understand what in the New Testament, what the New Testament shows is that in the first instance, it changed him. Kingdom within, changing yourself. Not getting out of self, but changing self will change everything else. That's what that book says. Changing self will change everything else. Jesus changed himself in that he became only one thing, one thought, one desire. The thought, the desire to serve, and the only energy, emotional energy that was left in him was compassion. And in that he made himself something that will serve that kingdom that wants to rule over, because he had just become a mindless minion. Yeah? No more will of his own. I am filled with compassion and I shall save. God command and I shall follow. And there we see that, again, there is a wrong way there. That again, I mean, hell, if you want that as your outcome, go for it. You have free will, we have free will. But we should really see what it is we're actually desiring. That is what you're making yourself into. Changing yourself. Changing your lead into what Jesus perceived as gold, which to me is not gold at all. But so that is, again, to me, the wrong way. It is a possibility contained in that knowledge. Again, I wouldn't go there. So what is the correct way? What is it we should actually become? And to my mind, we should not change at all what we in essence are. All our working parts should be there when we transition through into that new knowledge. We should take every part of ourselves with us to stay human on a higher level. Whereas he was really transhuman. And transhuman means no longer human, or you could say inhumane. We do not want to become transhuman. We want to become human on a different level. So how do you take all of your parts into that new awareness? That would be the question I would ask. But here you go. That is really, first of all, you need to see the intention. And you need to see that there are, in the Buddha, in the Eastern teachings, there is a completely different intention than there is in the Western Judeo-Christic tradition. They have no intention of getting out of this. They want to rule over this. Mind over matter. Mind ruling, commanding matter, as God did in the beginning, the very first line of the book. First lines of the book. That's what he did. He commanded matter. Now, where is the mistake? And there is a mistake. So you have the first intention is you need to slightly transcend matter. Slightly transcend matter, just above, which the East will teach you how to do that. But then the next step is, what is your intention of, and it's not what it is you want to make out of matter, or what you want to become a reality. That's actually not the question. but with what intention are you commanding matter? And here I think it is, if it is with the intention to rule over. And here's the Spirit told Jesus over and over again, those that will lead into slavery, into captivity, will go into captivity, because you are the first thing that is being created. You are that which is being changed. So if you want to lead into captivity, you will go into captivity, because in the first instance it will be you. Now Jesus says, well, I do not want to rule over, but I want to become something that completely serves that intention. Well, then you are part of it. And you will go into captivity with them, because you have made yourself a working part of that intention. Yeah? You cannot say, oh, I'm so much better, I only want to serve it. It's not really me, it's God. No. You serve it, you go with it. So, the intention is to serve, to do good, to save, to, in compassion, to alleviate suffering. You're going above. You're learning how to interact with matter, and matter will know you, will interact with you. And then with the intention of giving. Not, I want it for myself and I want to rule over. And there's where Jesus went wrong. I mean, he said, for myself. No, I don't want that. I'm not doing that. No. I just serve the one who does. You're going to hell with him. Anyway, I think I leave it at this for today. So really, there's complete mishmash of East and West. Detangle that. They are not the same. Yeah? See them sitting side by side. See the outcomes in Vedanta, for instance. Yeah? If you keep going, you come to the point where nothing knows and nothing is known, and that is oblivion. That is the death of consciousness. Go there if you want, but know that that is what you're doing. Go west means mind ruling over matter. And again, that can go too far, or probably is the wrong intention to start with. It's not to rule over. You will go into captivity. So, yeah. And how can the East give to the West? Because they have the knowledge of how to transcend matter in the first place. So learn how to transcend matter, but hover just above. And that is the way of the Bible. That is the intention of the Bible. That is what the knowledge is being gathered for, to lead to that outcome. Anyway, I leave it at that for today, and talk to you again soon. Bye.